While the city council might only give you 60 seconds to air your grievances.
Oh, hi, I'd like to start off by...
Go to the first caller on the phone.
Well, if you're lucky.
Now.
We're giving you a full 60 minutes. It's the KABC News Blitz with Randy Wang, an hour-long recap of the day's top local stories on your drive home. And unlike the city council, we're the perfect vehicle to actually get your voice heard. The KABC News Blitz with Randy Wang starts now.
It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Your emails as well at randykabc@gmail.com and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. Ever since the end of the pandemic, all you've heard from local and statewide elected officials is all the things we need to do to revitalize the downtowns. The pandemic changed the way people think about downtowns. The advent of remote work made a lot of people not want to ever go downtown. And even though the pandemic is way in our rearview mirror, downtowns have not fully recovered. Specifically, places like San Francisco, Oakland, and Los Angeles. So you always hear of the new plan to revitalize the downtowns, and you saw return to work orders not only for the government in the state of California as well as the federal government, but major companies in San Francisco pushing for that. I would assume they're doing that down here in Los Angeles too, because the freeways have never felt more awful. But it's not just return to work orders that are supposed to revitalize downtown. It's also an opportunity for members of the assembly to once again put forth an idea that seems to get rejected every single year. This time it's Matt Haney's bill. Matt Haney is an assemblyman from San Francisco. Notably, he's the one that is in a little bit of trouble because apparently he thinks it's okay to have political fundraisers at Niners games. But Matt Haney came down to downtown Los Angeles with the newest plan to revitalize not just downtown Los Angeles, but downtown San Francisco, downtown Long Beach, all the big downtowns. And the way we do it is with more booze. Matt Haney, take it away.
Good morning. My name is Matt Haney. I'm an assembly member from San Francisco, and welcome to Los Angeles. We are here in front of the Los Angeles Convention Center, alongside...
Oh, that's not a good area.
Alongside the Crypto Arena, home of the Los Angeles Lakers. And
I'm still embarrassed that we call it that.
And though some of us may cheer for different sports teams, we are here united.
Hold on a second. We're going to get to Matt Haney. But he's got a whole bunch of members of the Assembly and Chamber of Commerce people with him. Who laughed at this?
And though some of us may cheer for different sports teams, we are here.
You hear that, right? Someone's going, hey, 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 hey. If there's one thing that I would love to change about this world, just one specific thing, might be a little too specific, but it's for people to stop fake laughing at, oh, I like a different sports team than you jokes. It's just got to stop. We got to stop making those jokes, and we've got to stop laughing at those jokes because they're not funny.
And though some of us may cheer for different sports teams, we are here united around what hospitality zones and a thriving nighttime economy can mean for our state.
Hospitality zones, you say? Tell me more.
We know that cities across our state have struggled to come back fully after the pandemic. City after city, we've seen downtowns that are still experiencing some of the country's highest vacancy rates in offices, vacancy rates in retail, and the way that our cities are able to compete to bring people back could not be more critical.
Before we get to his nonsensical plan, I just don't understand why it seems like there was an idea right at the end of the pandemic that, okay, people seem to like working from home. Downtowns maybe need to be reimagined. And you had all these grandiose ideas of converting a whole bunch of office space into living space because, we need to build a whole bunch more housing. And I don't know if it was too difficult. People just don't want to live downtown, or it's just too darn expensive to make those conversions, but you didn't really see any of that. So you still have these massive vacancies in downtown. So I guess we're not doing that. So what's your plan, Haney? Give it to us.
We have to, as a state, help our cities come back fully and recover. We need people in our downtowns. We need them to come here not just during the day, but at night. We know that when people come to our cities, whether for conventions, for basketball games, for big events, even to work or to live, they are often looking for not only thriving daytime opportunities, but nighttime opportunities as well. Being able to attract these large conventions to our cities, large festivals, people who come for basketball games, people who come to enjoy themselves on the weekend is critical for the recovery of our struggling downtowns.
Okay, so what exactly are you proposing that's going to improve our nightlife so much in downtown?
I saw this throughout the last few years, serving as the chair of the Select Committee on Downtown Recovery. And from San Diego to Fresno to Long Beach to LA to Sacramento, we heard from city leaders, from business leaders, that they need more support from the state and more flexibility to be able to reimagine what their downtowns offer.
Okay, so what's the idea?
Not only during 9 to 5, but during weekends and nighttime as well. The cities that are coming back strongest across our state are the ones that are able to attract people there, tourists, visitors, office workers, residents, with more than just the 9 to 5 offerings, but with a thriving nighttime economy as well.
Okay, so how are you going to get this thriving nighttime economy? Please tell me.
This is essential. World-class cities have world-class nightlife. We in California deserve world-class nightlife too.
How are we going to get that world-class nightlife, Matt? Tell me.
We are seeing over the next few years some of the biggest events in the world coming to California. There are 2 Super Bowls, the Olympics, the World Cup, all coming to California. And the opportunities that this can provide for our small businesses, for our hotels, for our restaurants are tremendous. But we have to sometimes get out of our own way and allow our cities and our businesses to lead and be able to attract the people and the business that we know is there.
We're 3 minutes into this thing. What is your bill and what does it do?
Right now, there is a one-size-fits-all, top-down mandate that every single business in California stop serving at 2 a.m.
Okay, that's what this is about. I don't know. Do you think the way to save our downtowns is with more booze? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. In a effort to revitalize our downtowns, downtown LA, downtown Long Beach, downtown Santa Monica, San Francisco, Fresno, apparently, we need to have specific hospitality zones where we can extend that last call for alcohol from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Is this the silver bullet that's going to save downtown? I'm not so sure. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Now, let me say off the bat, they might as well go ahead and do this because they already, last year, crafted a very specific bill in the Assembly to give 4 a.m. last call to one establishment, a private VIP club at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. Steve Ballmer has so much sway, he got the California State Legislature and Gavin Newsom to craft and sign a bill that gives his one establishment a cutout from the 2 a.m. last call. So if you're going to do it for him, I guess you might as well do it for everybody. And maybe this is because I'm about to turn the ripe old age of 40. There are very, very few things I want to do less than start drinking until 4 a.m. My goodness. And sure, the young people want to do that, but I've got news for you, Matt Haney. I was young fairly recently. I was dumb and irresponsible fairly recently. I even went to go party in downtown LA a few times. And you know what? The young kids, they still go out, and they're still out till 4, sometimes 6 in the morning. They're just not drinking. Los Angeles has a lot of after-hours clubs. They have a lot of rave clubs. They got a lot of places where even though they stop serving booze, that doesn't stop anybody from going because they're not really there for the booze. They're there to do ecstasy, and they don't really want alcohol. There's a whole world of young kids who went to college and didn't like alcohol, so they switched to Molly. I know, because I used to hang out with those kids. So it's not like there isn't nightlife in Los Angeles. So I don't know if necessarily getting 2 more hours to booze it up is the best idea. Not to mention, Los Angeles is a very specific place with 2 ports, a lot of traffic on the freeways at all times, and you're going to have a lot of trucks on the road at 4 a.m., along with, arguably, I don't know if it's more drunk drivers, but the drunk drivers that would be on the road at 2 a.m., now they're on the road at 4 a.m. And as somebody who used to work a morning show here on KABC that used to drive the 134, 5, 101, and 10 freeways every single day at 4 a.m., I don't necessarily want 4 a.m. last call, but that's when I had to work that schedule. I don't know if this makes a whole lot of sense. Should we be on the same footing and compete with places like Vegas, compete with places like New York and Chicago and Miami with last calls at 4 a.m. and 6 a.m.? And is there even a last call in Vegas? If we really want to compete with Vegas, we might as well legalize gambling while we're at it. Put some casinos downtown. But is the solution to save our downtown everyone just needs to drink more? Because I'll tell you another reason why people aren't going downtown and drinking more. It's really expensive. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. 1-800-222-5222. Assemblyman Matt Haney has proposed a new bill. If passed, it would allow cities that want to have hospitality zones like downtown LA or downtown Long Beach that could extend last call for alcohol till 4 a.m. This has been tried before, and I'm sure if it doesn't pass, it will be tried again. But do you really think extending last call to 4 a.m. is how we save our downtowns? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Tim in Woodland Hills. Tim, hello.
Yeah, hi there, Randy.
Hey.
This is. I almost thought that at first this has got to be a joke. This is the most asinine thing I think I've heard from Sacramento, and there's some really wonderfully asinine things from Sacramento. I used to work downtown, and I left working downtown to come out to the San Fernando Valley because of one group of things: crime, homeless encampments, dealing with mentally unwell people downtown, stepping over urine, accidentally stepping in feces. I just got tired of it. I used to go to lunch. I would come home, and on Saturdays go down. Sometimes I went one time with my wife to the jewelry mart, and we were going to go out to dinner afterwards. And we had to deal with this homeless guy who decided that because she accidentally made eye contact with him, he was going to follow us. It was frightening for her, and I was used to it, but, it was a problem. So we stopped going downtown for dinner. I left working downtown and patronizing the businesses down there, retail as well as restaurant, because I wanted to get away with the primary problem that the inner cities have: crime, homeless people, and filth. You want to revitalize those places down there? There's all kinds of people who live in those high rises down there, right near the crypto center. There's a bunch of people who would be glad to spend their dollars down there, but because of the crime, it's just not a great way to spend your dollar.
Yeah, and I think you make really, really, really strong points, and extending last call is not going to mean a damn thing if people don't feel safe. And downtown has been pretty much the same for a decade, where the immediate vicinity of LA Live is kind of well lit and kind of safe, but you go one street over and it is dangerous as hell.
It's not a great place to be, and I guarantee you, like over by the Biltmore and some of those restaurants over there, at midnight, the place is a ghost town. Nobody extending it from 2 to 4 is going to be met with businesses closing because there's no customers.
I think you make a really good point, Tim. Thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. In an effort to revitalize and save our downtowns in the state of California, Assemblyman Matt Haney wants to pass his bill that would allow certain cities to create hospitality zones that extend the last call from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Do you think more booze is going to solve our downtown problem? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Mike in Glendale. Mike, hello.
Hey, hi, Randy. I used to be a bartender. I used to be a bar manager. I worked every spot in the bar business for a while, for a better part of the decade. And you could try the 4 a.m. thing, but I'll tell you from personal experience, and any bartender will tell you, once you get gets close to last call, people start nursing their drinks. They don't really want to add to their tab. So the bar owner or the restaurant owner is going to have to pay more for overhead, more for electricity, plumbing, messes to clean up, deal with fights, deal with all that stuff. On top of that, the sweet spot is between like 10 and midnight as it stands now. I doubt it's going to get any better than that. And you're only extending last call till 3 a.m. because everybody does last call about an hour prior to closing. And if the bar's going to close at 4, now you got to worry about people getting drunk because the bar is liable if you overserve them. The bar will be liable for them if they get in a wreck, if they get in a DUI, all that. You're liable for that.
I think those are really, really, really important points to make out there. It's not necessarily going to make the bars more money, and there's a whole bunch more liability. And if people are hanging around the bars for 2 extra hours when they've probably had too many from bar hopping, that's a lot of damage that they might have to pay for.
That's right. They will be. And the fights, I can tell you a million fights I've been in over the stupidest. I mean, the dumbest fight I ever got into was over a cheeseburger and a cell phone. And this was in Santa Clarita. And it was the dumbest thing ever, and it's going to get just worse and worse from there. But if they want to try it, go ahead. Knock yourself out. Worst comes to worst, you just revert it back to what it is.
There you go. Mike, thanks so much for the call. Someday call back and tell us that cheeseburger story, yeah?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. Assemblyman Matt Haney from San Francisco went to downtown L.A. today to unveil his new bill that's going to save downtown L.A., save downtown Long Beach, save downtown San Francisco. It would create hospitality zones where bars and restaurants can extend last call till 4 a.m. Do you think this is the silver bullet to save our downtowns? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. If you're on hold, stay on hold. We'll get to you next. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. We're taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Assemblyman Matt Haney from San Francisco went to downtown L.A. today to unveil his latest bill, AB 342. If passed and signed by Gavin Newsom, it would give major cities in California the ability to create hospitality zones where the last call for alcohol goes from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Do you think this is what's going to solve our downtown problems? Are we going to save downtowns with more booze? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's go to Dale in Long Beach. Dale, hello.
No, Randy, I don't believe that's going to help us at all. And for public safety reasons, I'm against it. And Steve Ballmer probably has an expensive high-end club where most people get driven home after they get drunk. Me and you probably couldn't even afford to go there and get drunk on beer.
I don't think I could afford to go there and order a water.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks so much for the call, Dale. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. Let's go to Brendan in Santa Clarita. Brendan, hello.
Well, the previous caller just alluded to it, but I'm wondering if this is related to Steve Ballmer wanting to keep his bar open at the Intuit Dome until 4 a.m.
Well, it definitely opened the doorway to all of this because it was really strange that the California legislature and Gavin Newsom crafted and signed a bill that gave that exemption for one bar in the entire state of California. So I guess this would put the downtowns on the same level playing field as that, but I don't know if that saves the downtowns.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks so much for the call, Brendan. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number, 1-800-222-5222. Matt Haney says AB 342 would allow hospitality zones in your favorite downtowns, LA, Long Beach, San Francisco, and you could have last call till 4 a.m., and that's what's going to revitalize nightlife and bring back the downtowns, get people to want to move downtown. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Do you think more booze is going to save downtown? 800-222-KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC.
It's 5:30 in LA. That means you're either sitting at a bar or sitting in traffic. Well, wherever you're sitting, get comfortable, because the KABC News Blitz with Randy Wang continues now.
It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Your emails as well at randykabc@gmail.com, and search for the KABC News Blitz wherever you get your podcasts. Assemblyman Matt Haney from the San Francisco area went to downtown LA today. He unveiled his new bill, AB 342, that he says is going to save the downtowns. Downtown LA, downtown Long Beach, downtown Santa Monica, downtown San Francisco, San Jose, downtown Fresno. And how is that? Well, if passed and signed into law, AB 342 would allow local cities to create hospitality zones, special areas where you could push the last call for alcohol from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Do you think the way we save our downtowns is with more booze? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's get back to Matt Haney make his case.
Right now, there is a one-size-fits-all, top-down mandate that every single business in California stops serving at 2 a.m. It makes no sense. It's out of step with over 12 states across.
I can't tell you the last time I drank past midnight. I can't tell you the last time I drank past 11 p.m., but I'm a fairly boring person now that I'm married.
It makes no sense. It's out of step with over 12 states across the country and most cities around the world that are world-class destinations.
You imagine what a downtown LA bar tab would look like if you get there at 10 p.m. and you're drinking till 3? Yeesh.
It is time that we have a pro-local control, pro-business solution that allows California cities to do what they need to do to recover and to attract the conventions, the visitors, the events that all of us can benefit from.
Are there conventions that don't choose downtown LA because you can't drink till 4 a.m.? Or are there conventions that don't choose downtown LA because it's super unsafe outside the convention hall?
You can go to sleep at 10 p.m. You don't have to be someone who goes out late, but you should be able to see the huge economic benefits that this provides for our state. Hospitality zones will be focused on areas in our downtowns. These will be placed.
So what you're saying is the people that are really jonesing, really want to go for it. They want to keep tying one on. Well, if they're in, let's say, Glendale, and Let's last call at 1 o'clock. Well, they could either make that run to CVS and get a bottle of booze to take home or just drink it home to begin with. Or now they could drive to downtown LA because we keep serving there. I don't know if that makes sense.
These will be places that have proximity to convention centers, to hotels, to other restaurants where people can walk, where there's enhanced public safety.
Okay, downtown LA does not have places people can walk, and it is not safe.
Resources.
This isn't the Vegas Strip.
These are places where this makes sense. It will only be on weekends, Saturdays and Fridays, and state holidays.
Well, what if people want to get loaded on a Thursday? They call it Friday Eve. Heck, after midnight, it is Friday.
And the opportunities that will come from this, the positive connected benefits, not just at night, but during the day for our cities that desperately need.
What, the pharmacies are going to sell a lot more Advil? Not really sure how extending last call till 4 a.m. helps the daytime businesses, but sure. The people are going to order a lot heavier breakfast because they're super hungover.
That desperately need people to be coming back to them, and for our entire state will be tremendous.
I look back at my 20s when I used to stay up till like 3 or 4, 5, 6 in the morning every single night. Now, I worked an overnight radio job, but still. I would go to bed at like 6, and I'd wake up at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I can't imagine doing that now.
I want to welcome a few speakers who will speak to their own experience around this and the need for this bill to pass into law. We have an incredibly broad coalition already in support of this bill, and I want to...
Oh, yeah, and I just found out Scott Wiener's getting the Senate backing of this. This is one of those bills they have tried to pass every year, and this is the way Sacramento works. If something doesn't get passed, whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, they try again till it finally does. This is why you have thousands of bills that go through the legislature every year, because they never give up on an idea. Now, sometimes it's a really good idea, like Scott Wiener, who took 5 different attempts to get through his bill that cut out the car break-in loophole. We've explained it several times. I can't believe it took 5 years to get that passed, but this is now one of those things where, just like you see someone that crafts a bill to get rid of daylight savings time every year, someone's going to craft a bill every year to push us till 4 a.m. until we finally do it.
And I want to first up invite the Assembly member who represents this area where we are right now here in downtown Los Angeles, Assembly member El Hawari.
Okay, I don't know Sade El Hawari, so we're all going to meet her together. This is the Assemblywoman representing downtown Los Angeles. If you live in downtown LA and did not know your Assembly member was Sade El Hawari, well, you're just like everybody else. Members of the Assembly are relatively anonymous.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Assemblymember Sade El Hawari representing this district, District 57. And we know it's a beautiful and vibrant place. And downtown LA.
Downtown LA is a beautiful and vibrant place? You mean like literally at LA Live and not any further than that?
And we know it's a beautiful and vibrant place. And downtown LA.
Maybe that little square where the Amundsen is? Problem is the rest of downtown LA.
Also, the heart of downtown LA including right here at the convention center. The district carries both challenge and brilliance. From Skid Row, where we are working every day to uplift our most vulnerable neighbors.
Doesn't seem like you're working very hard at that. And you could add the last call to 4 a.m. all you want. There's still going to be a certain sector of the population that will never go downtown because downtown is very close to Skid Row. Depending on which way you drive to get to downtown LA, oh my goodness. You ever take the 10 freeway and get off on that exit that's right past the 110? I can't remember which one it is, but every second of that off-ramp, it's 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, underpass, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. You go on Los Angeles Street, 10, 10, 10, 10, San Pedro Street, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I live in the Valley, and you see a little bit of homeless in certain areas, especially in Woodland Hills, where they're about to build that whole Ram Center. But downtown LA is really scary. And one time, my wife and I went to a trivia event because we were supporting a buddy of ours, and I didn't feel safe the entire time. I kept checking my car, and I was like, this isn't worth it. We're going to just play trivia on Twitch, because then I don't have to leave my house and go to downtown LA. Downtown LA is gross. And 4 a.m. booze is not going to make it any less gross.
To the cultural gems and businesses that give downtown its spark. This is a place that holds it all. That's what makes it so powerful.
So funny because I have waxed poetically so many times on this program how much I love downtown Santa Fe, which is the opposite of Los Angeles in every single way. I do love a beautiful, walkable city. In fact, that's my favorite thing. That's why it's so weird that I was born and raised in Los Angeles, because I hate driving. That being said, the walkable areas in this town, in this area in Southern California, I would not list downtown LA as one of them.
Downtown isn't just about where people work. It's where they create, where they gather, where they dream. It's home to small businesses,
one of those people that after doing a bump of Coke and then doing a shot of vodka, start telling you how they're going to make it. We got more with Assemblywoman Sade El-Hawari, as well as the other Assembly member for Los Angeles and downtown area, Mark Gonzalez, as they try to advocate for this new bill, AB 342, that if passed and signed by Gavin Newsom, would create hospitality zones in your favorite downtowns and extend the drinking hours from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Do you think this is going to save downtown? 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. We're taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Assemblyman Matt Haney has introduced a new bill that, if passed, would increase the last call for certain downtowns from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Is this how we save our downtowns? Let's go to Stuart in Seal Beach. Stuart, hello.
Yes, Randy, thank you for taking my call. No, I don't think booze would be that entertaining at 4 a.m. in the morning. But you know what would be very entertaining, Randy, is when Bill Saley, the new U.S. attorney, serves indictments on all the politicians and all the people at the L.A. housing people. I'd like to see like a camera on the people, like what we have with the Eagles up in Big Bear. That'd be something I would pay to watch.
You know what we should do? We should make those trials at night and sell tickets and sell booze in the lobby, and people can drink while we watch all of our politicians and heads of nonprofits go to prison.
You're exactly right. I'd pay a lot of money to see that, and I'm sure you could sell a lot of alcohol and other stuff, even T-shirts to that. But thank you, Randy.
Thanks so much for the call, Stuart. Appreciate it. Let's go to Scott in Manhattan Beach. Scott, hello.
Hey, Randy. How you doing this evening?
Doing great.
Hey, so I can just imagine, people at the Jonathan Club just basically having a lot more fun after 10 p.m. when Alex usually goes home from the tap room and just driving an elevator home. But that's not for everybody, apparently.
Yeah, probably not. Thanks so much for the call, Scott. Appreciate it. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on KABC. Let's get back to downtown LA Assemblywoman Sade El-Hawari try to explain why she supports this new bill that, if passed, would allow places like downtown LA to serve booze till 4 a.m., because that's what's going to save downtown.
Where they dream. It's home to small businesses, immigrant entrepreneurs, artists, essential workers, and some of the most resilient people I've ever met.
I don't know what that means.
But this
Valley people aren't resilient?
But this part of LA...
You don't know how freaking hot it gets here in the summer.
But this part of LA has been through it. The pandemic, shifting work habits, empty buildings, that loss of energy.
How exactly does adding more booze solve the empty buildings problem? Because apparently, I guess it's too expensive to convert all those office spaces to apartments.
Doesn't just affect the skyline. It affects the people, the families, the workers trying to make a living down here. If we don't do something, we risk more boarded windows, closed restaurants, or lost revenue.
And the way we do that is with 2 extra hours of people getting drunk only on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
We risk losing the heartbeat of downtown and the people who have given this place its soul. And I'm not willing.
The soul of downtown is people getting loaded at night? Okay. Although I would argue about 10 years ago it switched to people doing Molly.
And I'm not willing to let that happen. We are not willing to let that happen. That's why I'm proud to stand with my colleague, Assemblymember Matt Haney, in support of AB 342.
All right, well, we heard what she had to say, but downtown LA is so big, there's two different members of the assembly. Let's hear what Mark Gonzalez has to say, and I don't know who he is either.
Thank you so much, and now I am honored to introduce my fellow downtown assembly member, Mark Gonzalez.
Good morning. Thank you to my sister in the fight, Ms. Sade, for all of your work. I'm Mark Gonzalez, and I proudly represent California's Fighting 54th Assembly District, where I've worked in this...
Okay, don't call it the Fighting 54th first.
Fighting 54th Assembly District, where I've worked in this district with many of our advocates behind us and residents for well over 15 years. But I'm looking forward to working with Sade as we get this done. Downtown Los Angeles stands at a crossroads, and at every crossroads, we're given a choice. To stay
more booze or the same amount of booze?
To stay where we are or to move boldly toward the future that we actually can believe in.
And the bold move towards the future is more shots of Jaeger at 3 a.m.
I want to...
Oh, just saying the word gives me an adverse reaction. People drink awful things in their 20s. Has anyone over the age of 50 ever had a Jaeger bomb?
I want to thank my friend and colleague from the Bay Area, Assemblyman Matt Haney. Despite him being a Giants fan, we are coming here...
Okay, what did we say at the beginning of the show? What did we specifically say? There was one thing that I need to change in this world. I am so done with people making unfunny jokes and people laughing at unfunny jokes about, oh, that person liked different sports team than me do. Enough. You're a hack. I'm more upset about this than the last call.
Despite him being a Giants fan, we are coming...
Somebody laughed at that.
We are coming here today as both fans of...
I could not listen to this guy for more than 5 minutes. I'm so glad I put him at the end of the show.
We are coming here today as both fans of what we want to do for this district and fans all across our Golden State and our beacon of hope.
So the Laker game gets out at 9, and you probably already drinking at the Laker game. Then you go to Yard House and you drink 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Well, you're going to probably have to drink 4 or 5 of those Yard glasses of beer. Oh, my goodness.
I want to thank Matt for his leadership and for bringing us together.
Okay, once they start thanking everyone for their leadership, I think we're done here. You get the gist of it. This isn't going to pass because it never does. But then they'll try it again next year, and they'll say this is how we save downtowns. I don't know. Maybe we revisit that whole turning the office buildings into apartments. And if it's too expensive to do that, let's find out why the hell it's too expensive to do that. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC.